9:32. Good morning. It's about this time on Wednesdays. We spend a little time talking with our friend and attorney for the injured, Bruce L. Scheiner. We call it Ask the Lawyer and answer questions submitted by you. Let's see whose question gets the attention today of Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. First of all, good morning, Bruce, and welcome.
Good morning, Todd. How are you doing this morning?
Fantastic. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing very well, Todd. Everybody's healthy, and, we're just doing what we have to stay safe and healthy.
Everybody in your office and at home is faring okay in the pandemic?
Yeah, so far so good.
That's all you can ask for these days, I tell you. Well, that's good news. And I know you're still conducting business as usual. Should anybody need any kind of legal help, you can do things virtually these days, right?
Absolutely. It's amazing. We have, 60 employees and 55 are working remotely, and we're just as efficient or more efficient than before the pandemic broke out.
Yeah, a lot of businesses are finding that to be the case, which is great news. And glad to hear that everybody's doing well health-wise. That's the challenge these days. Also a challenge, somebody who gets into an accident and doesn't know where to turn. Now, I immediately make the recommendation, call my buddy Bruce, but here's an email today that apparently they haven't gotten the message as of yet. Do you mind if I read it to you?
I'd be happy.
Okay, this is what it says. My next-door neighbor and his wife were riding a motorcycle in Charlotte County when a truck hauling oranges turned in front of them. Both were life-flighted to the hospital with very severe injuries. The driver was a contracted driver for a large citrus company, but didn't have anywhere near enough insurance to begin to cover the bills. The citrus company is claiming they are not responsible, even though the truck cab had their name on it. Is there anything they can do? Just from my experience each Wednesday chatting with you, Bruce, I hear the driver was a contracted driver. I'm suspecting a contract worker kind of thing being pulled here. What do you make of this?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to get away with, but I don't think they're going to be very successful. There's a number of avenues to pursue. The first thing is that in Florida, there's a rule called dangerous instrumentality, and that says that the owner of a vehicle is responsible for any damages caused by the driver of that vehicle.
Okay.
If the citrus company owns the vehicle, they're responsible for the damages to the driver.
Okay.
That's number one.
That's great.
Number two is there's a theory of law called the parent authority. So if they have the name of the citrus company on the truck, it would be apparently that the driver is driving under his authority, and they would be responsible for the actions of the driver.
Right. Okay.
And, we didn't mention something that we almost always talk about, and if these motorcycle riders had the foresight to have backing uninsured motorist coverage, that could be another source of recovery.
Oh, on their personal automobile policies, if they have uninsured motorists, it could apply to the motorcycle.
Exactly.
That's, and again, like you say, we talk about it all the time. It's just so important. Rule of thumb, get as much stacking uninsured motorist coverage as you can afford, even though I know how to say that.
Yep, that's 100% correct.
Okay, Bruce. Well, this gives a major ray of hope, I am thinking, to a couple of seriously injured people. And nice try on the part of the company trying to get out from the responsibility here, but it sounds like you said, like they're going to have a tough time doing so.
Well, I think they'll have a tough time doing so, and I think that a much smarter course would have been to say, boy, we're sorry, and how can we help you?
Yeah. You encounter this kind of thing all the time with the number of motorcycle riders who come to you for help. You've seen this time and time again.
Yeah. Actually, it was interesting. A friend of my assistant was riding their motorcycle out in Colorado. And got in a bad accident, and they called us right away and were able to be of assistance to them.
It's sad, but it's heartening to hear that if you are in a motorcycle accident, you've got a real expertise in that field when it comes to Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates. Thank you so much for weighing in on this today, Bruce.
Hey, thank you, Todd. It's always my pleasure. and I look forward to speaking to you next week.
Absolutely. Take care now. Say hi to the family. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, and the answer of the week. Now, how do you get a hold of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates? If you have a question, any kind of legal question, you could refer to their Port Charlotte office at this number, 941-743-7777, 941-743-7777. And tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.